awkward silence to start this off. And here we are. All right. Thank you for deciding to waste about 5 minutes of your life with us. This is A Merry Heart. And we wanted something kind of lighthearted and humorous between our church and some of our people around here in Seymour, Tennessee. But the more that I begin to spread the word out about what this could end up being, the more people wanted to get involved. So this is our first episode of A Merry Heart. I'm here with my co-host, Cornelius Crackerjack.
And I'm here with my co-host, Rich Richardson.
It's good to see you here this sunny Wednesday morning. You're meeting here in the bunker here at Bible Baptist Church.
Undisclosed private location.
That I just disclosed. To let everyone know where it's at. We have plenty of food here if you would like to come and join us.
I think there's a broadsword and a jawbone lying around
Yes,
for defense.
a matter of fact there is. And some rods if you need correcting. The purpose of this, honestly, was just for us to be able to create some lighthearted humor during this crazy time, to allow us to just be able to laugh. The Bible has a lot to say about laughter, about a merry heart. Just a couple of verses off the top of my head. There in Proverbs, it says, "A merry heart maketh a cheerful countenance." It also says, "A merry heart hath a continual feast." And my personal favorite, "A merry heart doeth good like a medicine." It's good to laugh. It's good to be able to have good, clean humor and fun. And so that's the purpose of what we're doing. And we hope every week that you'll join us here just to be able to crack up, if anything, and put a smile on your face. So as we kick this thing off here, I want to start off with a video from my good friend Chris Wilcox. He's a pastor up in Missouri. And he has hilarious things that happen to him on a regular basis, especially with his children. And so every week he's going to be sending us a video of some funny things his kids have said or done over the past couple of years here, and some very recent things that are wonderful. So Chris, take it away.
Roll the clip.
Here's a story that'll hopefully make your day a little bit brighter. My wife and daughter and son were at Walmart the other day. This may be a little while back. My daughter is 4 years old. My son is 2. And my daughter's standing there next to my wife. They're at Walmart. This was a while ago, so this is well before quarantining and all that kind of stuff took place. And they're running the stuff through the conveyor belt. Cashiers blipping it along, blip, blip, blip. Nobody's really talking. Nobody's really making eye contact until my daughter looks up at the cashier and without prompting, without any kind of conversation taking place, looks up at the cashier and informs her that we all pee in the shower together. Now you can imagine for my wife the shock of hearing this, in spite of the fact that 1, our kids don't shower, 2, we don't shower together, and 3, nobody's peeing in the shower. And despite my wife's best efforts, that cashier did not believe my wife. There, I hope that put a smile on your face for the day.
This is Cornelius Crackerjack. Thank you so much, Chris Wilcox, for that video. Can't wait to have kids one day. Amen. What a blessing. So we're going to kick off this time with talking about some of our funniest church stories that we have ever experienced. And so I would have to say, for me personally, the funniest thing that has ever happened is, and if you're a pastor, if you've ever had to get up and speak anywhere, you know those lapel mics that you have strapped to your side. One time I was visiting a church, and the pastor was getting up, and he gave announcements with his lapel mic. Well, your best friend on those lapel mics is the little mute button.
Oh, yes.
And if you forget about that little mute button, you could be in for a lot of embarrassment, especially if right after you do the announcements, you have to do what all people have to do and take a restroom break. And so this poor individual, while the song service was continuing, there was the mighty rushing wind sound of a waterfall streaming over the
I hear it.
streaming over the PA system.
Is that Niagara?
And yes, it was a full tank. And by the time he finally gets back in, everybody has realized what has happened, and he has completely forgotten about the mute button on his microphone. And the spirit of the meeting, you could say, changed drastically from that point on. But that had to be one of the funniest things that I've ever experienced in church.
Oh, we've all been there.
Sadly.
Some of us have. All right, I'm Rich Richardson here with you. I have something that's fairly similar, not necessarily of the bathroom commodity, but I remember here, shortly after I was saved, myself and a good friend of mine got up here at Bible Baptist Church and decided to do a special. Keep in mind, neither one of us could carry a tune in a bucket, and he could barely play piano at that point in time. He's gotten better over the years. But we got up here to do a special, and during the time it took for us to shuffle up there, get things kind of in order, someone had crept into the back, and they brought a friend with them. And as I began to sing what had to have been nails on a chalkboard in higher octaves that only dogs could hear, a dog lets out this noise. That's right, in the middle of the service. So that one has always haunted me. It's always stuck with me. And anytime I hear a dog howl, I'm reminded of that time.
Even the creation sings out his praises, as we can see very clearly. And so those are some funny church stories that we have. We hope you enjoyed that. At this time, we have Brother Jeremy Stewart. He is a missionary to Denway, we'll say. And he has a few bad dad jokes for us. And so go ahead and roll that.
Take it away, Stu.
All right, welcome again. Mary Hart. Ha ha ha. Bad dad jokes. Round. Whatever, 3-4. Let's begin. Jasmine. Go ahead.
Why did the vampire go to the doctor?
Why?
Because it had the coffin.
Little COVID problem. ICU. Not laughing. Okay. On that note, why did the Invisible Man turn down the job offer?
I don't know.
Couldn't see himself doing it. I know, dude. Okay. Yeah.
Have you heard the joke about the skunk?
No.
It's not worth it. It stinks.
Yeah. Smelled that one coming. Oh no. Alright. Oh, there it is. How do you get a country girl's attention?
I don't know.
A tractor.
Laughing, Alvin. This is bad. Why?
A tractor. Okay.
Okay.
You got one more.
Why did the kid eat his homework?
Shh.
Why?
Why?
Because the teacher said it was a piece of cake.
What do you think?
I don't know. Maybe.
Okay, last one. Which bear is the most condescending?
I don't know.
A panda. Thanks for playing.
And we're back. Thank you, Stu, for that. Bad dad jokes. They never get old. Not at all. So, as we wrap this up, we knew that we didn't want it to go on long. We didn't need for it to be 10, 20, 30 minutes of a lot of stuff. Just something to kind of help you throughout the day. And for every one of these with a Mary Hart episodes, we want to end with something on a high note, a good note. And so this last section here is called a good report. And Josh has got a verse here for us. That
So
he wants to
Proverbs
read.
15 and verse number 30 says, "The light of the eyes rejoiceth the heart, and a good report maketh the bones fat." And so we want to end this time giving a good report about something. Certainly if you're tuning in to the news media, it's all negative. So we could use a little bit of something on the positive side. And so one positive story that I have that just demonstrates the power of prayer, even in the darkest times, is I had a really good friend in high school. He was just a grade older than me, and he graduated a year ahead of me. But come to find out a couple weeks ago that he had been admitted to the hospital. And then, he was healthy as he could be. He was only 22 years old, did CrossFit, worked out all the time. Nobody could tell anything was wrong with him. But he had a back pain all of a sudden, something in his side. He thought it was just from lifting, but come to find out it was something a lot more. They admitted him to the hospital. Got so bad that he ended up being on life support and in a really bad way in ICU. And so, his family and his sister, they were all, sending out, asking for prayer, asking, that the doctors would have wisdom and that he'd be able to come through this because the situation was getting worse and worse. And so, we sent out multiple prayer requests and prayed for him. And come to find out, he is doing much better now. He's in progressive care. He is continuing to get better and better. He's continuing to ask for prayer as he's in the hospital, but Lord knows that was a scary situation, and He comforted him through that. And so it was good to be able to see him out of that now. But what about you?
Wonderful.
Good report.
A good report. Something that comes to mind with me is quite a bit lighter in regards to that, and that's fantastic. It's wonderful to see the Lord work in these situations and someone to come over that massive hump there. Just this past week was Easter as we celebrate it. And last Saturday, my wife Carolyn and I went to Walmart just to get a couple of things, and we were over by the bike section there at Walmart where all the Fisher Price Power toys are at and things of that nature. And we noticed something when we stopped and we just kind of soaked it up for a second. There were so many people buying bikes and outside stuff. And her and I have talked to her over the past couple of weeks. What this quarantine has done in this time of just chaos has done, it's forced people to spend time with their families, which is a wonderful thing because we were way too busy before. And now we're at this situation to where people are enjoying spending the time outside with their family and even inside of, having fun with games and this, that, and the other. And we took a step back and just watched. There were so many people buying bikes and strolling them through Walmart so that they could take their family out on a bike ride and maintain, of course, social distancing throughout it. But just there was joy there, and you hardly ever see that at Walmart. Amen and amen. And so it was just something really cool that we noticed, and that it just put a smile on our face.
I think that just goes to show then that during all this time, we're kind of focusing on all the things we're missing out on, all the things that have changed for the worse. But at the same time, it's an opportunity that the Lord has given us to, like Andrew said, focus on our families, focus on the time God has given us to maybe go into further studying His Word and all those kinds of things. And so having that mindset is what will help us to be encouraged during this time. And we hope that this was an encouragement to you. Any last words before we close here?
Well, not really. I'm a man of few words. If you ask any of my constituents, I'm is you is or is you ain't. And I'm just thankful that I'm thankful we can do this.
Right.
Isn't it crazy that situations like this put us kind of into a box and you have to think outside of it? So that's what we're doing here with A Merry Heart. We hope that every one of you guys have a wonderful day, and may the Lord bless you.